Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Disco Elysium, where we found another potentially important lead in the last episode. There was like a guy on this balcony who may or may not have witnessed the lynching, or may have seen something at least, but he wasn't willing to talk to us and my skill check failed, so he just left. But if we manage to get inside the building, then maybe we can actually talk to him and find out some more information. But yeah, for now, let's just look around here. For example, what is this over here?
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it.
Well, let's find out. Turn it over.
There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
Okay.
This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has hundreds of apartments.
How are we going to find the right one?
We'll just have to go in and see.
Okay, well, I guess that's what we will do. Although, maybe I don't want to do this today. Key to room number 1. Key to bookstore back door. Key to apartment building. So, oh, I see. I could go inside the building now. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to maybe save this for another day because it's already getting kind of late and this is probably going to take a while. So I will do this once we have a bit more time. Maybe I will just spend the rest of this day by looking around a bit and then we will return to the hotel. So we have some stuff over here as well. Orange bum head, reaction speed rhetoric. Hey, may want to have a look at that. Just a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. Okay, so I guess this one is still locked and I can't open it with my new key, but this one's green, which means I can probably go inside. Anyway, what did I just get here? Alright, I don't have a head at the moment, so it would give me +1 reaction speed, -1 rhetoric. I mean, my rhetoric is pretty good. So basically I would switch around my stats for reaction speed and rhetoric. I mean, at the moment I don't really need that, I think. So maybe I'm going to ignore this item for now. And yeah, we have a new quest for this one. Ask around for his apartment number. So yeah, this is probably going to take a while to find him. So we will return in the morning. Also, people might be asleep now, so better to do this during the day, I think. Instead, let's just look around this. I don't know, it looks like some kind of harbor or whatever. And then we can return to the hotel. And yeah, we can collect a bunch of this and hopefully find some place where we can actually like sell it. Okay, this is like
up here,
closed. Oh, there's a person up here as well. Yeah, we will investigate this whole building at some point. Inside. Oh, I didn't read this in time.
Yeah, you bet.
There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint? Yeah, there's like a lot of red paint. I guess it's paint and not blood. Cape Side Apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, roundabout north. Okay, these are just...
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Okay, we got another door over here, but again, I don't want to investigate any buildings at the moment. Just want to look around a bit. Looks like there was some more construction here once decades ago. Oh, hang on a second. I can pick up more stuff. And well, more magnesium. At least I'm kinda stocking up on health items at the moment. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Gislaine 33A. Your room in the rolling room isn't much bigger than this sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all of your life. Oh, great. Oh, there's another person. Yeah, sure, I guess I will talk to her.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
All right.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Weren't we supposed to find her? So I guess we found her. Joyce L. What does the L stand for? What exactly is the RCM? I remember hearing it from somewhere. I think we already established that. You can't have forgotten it already. What gave us away? Shake her hand. Don't shake her hand. Well, I guess first let's greet her properly.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
Okay, well, I'm glad she didn't.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
All right. All right.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Are you giving out warnings now before I start to talk to people?
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
Ooh, well, why did he do that?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
All right, well, let's see. We have a bunch of options here. You're on a boat. Kind of irrelevant, but it's a factual statement. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? What can you tell me about the strike? What can you tell me about the lynching? Do you know something about these tattoos? Show the photo. Oh, you seem rich. Can I have some money? Yeah, I still need some money, as a matter of fact. So at least she probably would have the money that I need. But yeah, let's maybe start with the very basic questions here. Or well, this is not a question. This is just a statement. You're on a boat.
Why, yes, I am.
And not a lot of people on boats are there. Does she have a name? Do you have a license for this boat? I think I have a handle on the boat thing. Yeah, none of this seems really irrelevant. But yeah, not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are.
Oh.
We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago? What do you mean, archipelago? Well, I guess we are. I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Okay.
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas a la Mer island groups are archipelagos, while La Caillou, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago.
Well, Encyclopedia apparently doesn't agree with you. Wait, I thought Le Caillou was one big island. Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here. Yeah, is it not like one big island?
Okay, if you want to get technical. The point is, we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another. Especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike.
Alright, fair enough. But still, I haven't seen anyone else sail around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Well, it's not me who's driving that car. You have to ask my colleague about that.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle.
The lieutenant becomes defensive. I think he really likes his car.
It's for crossing long distances in the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. It's not a toy.
Of course.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
Okay, I think I get it.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Why do I need to do that?
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
It'll come off like I'm envious, and I'm not. Why am I even thinking about this? I have police work to do. Actually, yes, I need to nail her for this? I mean, we kind of need her cooperation here, right? Because she might be able to tell us more about the strike and so on. So, should I really start this kind of petty argument now? And I might come off as envious.
You're not? Okay then. Just keep on admiring the boat then. Unburdened by envy.
Why would I need a boat, though? Does she have a name? Do you have a license for this boat? None of this seems really all that important, but sure, does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cor de Leyte 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it? Didn't she just say it's a sloop? Is there really a difference between a type and a kind? Some of these questions just seem to go nowhere, so how do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
The eel's hips? What?
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Yeah, thank you, Kim, for calling out my completely nonsensical questions here. So, let's just move on from the boat.
Good.
So, let's deal with a few more important issues. So tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
Okay, so what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo-tribes? You're in good company, it seems. How much money does Wild Pines have? So I think this is just a question which I'm addressing Encyclopedia with, and this is questions for Joyce, right? Because they're like in quotation marks. So, who are the other Indo-tribes?
Son Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
An unknown entity. Okay, but yeah, it looks like you're in good company.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the real meaning of the remark. Yeah, I guess it was supposed to be a pun with company, right? But okay, how much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
20 billion real! Wow! Wow indeed. That's it. I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be big time. I don't know, it seems pretty big to me. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. I mean, as someone who has like 15 real at the moment, that's probably not a lie. The money I owe is so much less than that. Yes, yes it is.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary. But they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks.
All right.
A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility.
Did you honestly just compare your company to a shark? Also, is it really true that sharks die if they stop moving? But okay, where does Wild Pines get all these billions? Yes, that's a good question.
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Okay.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavour.
Madness.
Vessels pass through the Great Unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
It probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly. It probably does. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? Look around. Yeah, I think Encyclopedia mentioned that, right?
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at like random trivia, and that's pretty much all I'm good at. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? Yeah, good question.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are
Okay.
responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world, that's quite the endeavor indeed. You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company is nothing without them. I mean, that's true, but also seems kind of irrelevant at the moment. Yeah, that's quite the endeavor.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Okay, so what exactly do you mean by that? What can you tell me about the strike? What can you tell me about this lynching? Okay, so now we are on to the next branch of questions. Yeah, what can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets? What is your role in this precisely? I have other questions. I'm not sure if I need trade secrets, but who knows, huh?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Elements. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? That's an odd metaphor. An octopus, I will slay it. How do I repeal it then? Wouldn't want to disturb an octopus, better let it be. I mean, I already slayed the bear, so I can slay an octopus as well.
Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
I guess the idea is that it has like lots of arms and it's kind of hard to untangle it, and you cut off one arm and maybe it grows another one. So I guess that's the metaphor here. Alright, I understand.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
Okay.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Well, in that case, let's leave it alone.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
Right, so what is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
Okay.
No way. She's more. She can make decisions.
Well, drama, why do you think that?
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
I see.
Wait. She just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
I mean, at least they stopped the talks. I guess a strike already was happening before the lynching. I guess.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth
What?
blocking the gates.
Tell us more about this behemoth. So the strike is connected to lynching. Yeah, I would like to ask both of it. So what is that behemoth?
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
A racist giant. Okay, so you think the strike is connected to the lynching?
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
What do you mean later? Why don't you tell me about this now? How were the talks going before the lynching? Right.
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
Yeah, speaking of frozen, suddenly there's quite a bit of snow coming down.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
Okay, so there already were some talks before this, but they failed.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Okay, I mean, overtime pay and a medical plan doesn't seem so unreasonable.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What happened to this Gaumont? What are their demands? Tell me more about this union boss. That's all I need here. Yeah, what happened to this other guy?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
I see. Okay then. Cool, not cool. I mean, I don't know much about this Gaumont guy, but calling him a midget is probably not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Alright, so there wasn't much success with the talk. So what exactly are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
What does that mean?
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Neither do I. I like it. I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. Forget it. I want to ask something else about the strike. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what exactly this demand would entail in practice, so I don't know what to think about that.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Oh, I see. They want all the workers to be part of, like, the company board that makes decisions about the company. Okay, I get it now. I mean, that seems, like a very slow process, but okay.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit. I guess it kinda is. The workers can't be kings. The king is a king. The king is dead. Long live the workers. I don't know, I guess it's kind of funny.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
So, what are you going to do about it?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again.
Alright.
And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Yeah, let's maybe talk about the lynching.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
Okay. What is a bowyer?
This checks out.
How? I don't know what that means, but okay. Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare. Yes, please.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Okay, well, I mean, you would say that, of course.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him. Is he that bad? He can't be that bad. Say nothing. Eva is a hero of the workers' movement. I have no idea. I haven't met this guy yet. But yeah, you sound like you're about to take a rapier to him.
Oh, heavens, no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin.
She stops and smiles. So, is he really that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
So you're saying there's two of them?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
Okay.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
I mean, that does sound a little bit corrupt. I'm not sure if they're really embezzling money, but, you know, switching back and forth as, like, the head of the union to circumvent the term limits seems kind of shady. What about the union itself, outside the Brothers Clare? Yes, tell me more about that.
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that.
All right.
Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
All right. Well, I guess that is Kim's opinion about it.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the rights of local working men, a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. You know, lady, I can't even remember my own name. I honestly don't think I have enough information about this situation to give you an informed opinion. I mean, I could give you an uninformed one, but I really wish I would know more about it. I mean, we have heard about the union before, and to be honest, most of what we heard wasn't really that great. Sylvie seemed like really afraid of the union. Kim himself said it's kind of like a mob, so I'm inclined to believe that. On the other hand, you would think Harry is someone who might appreciate a good union, seeing how he's constantly broke. Of course, I'm not sure if he's broke because he's just really underpaid, or if he's just, you know, losing all his money and spending it on alcohol and whatnot. So the problem is that I haven't really talked to anyone from the union yet, or the union leader, so yeah, what I heard so far isn't really good, but she probably isn't that unbiased as well, so I'm not sure if I can take her opinion for granted. I'm inclined to trust Kim on this, though, so yeah, I don't know. But honestly, even if I had like a proper opinion on this based on knowledge, which I don't, maybe I shouldn't advertise this opinion, since you know, we're the policemen investigating this case, or maybe we should appear unbiased and not take a side here. especially since the Union so far is our, like, main suspect, the only suspect, anyway. Which, honestly, from, like, a narrative or gameplay perspective, makes me think that they're probably not involved in this. Because, you know, it's kind of like a murder mystery, and if you have, like, a suspect introduced very early in the story that seems like a very obvious suspect, it's usually not them, because, you know, where would be the fun in that? So it seems like a red herring, you know, setting up the Union this way and bringing them up as a potential suspect. But then again, I mean, maybe this game is going a different route and it's the Union after all. But either way, I think I'm going with number 4 here, because while I wouldn't, you know, disregard what Kim said about them, I just don't have enough information on the situation to really judge this, and so let's not give an opinion about this one.
Of course, officer.
Anyway, what else do I have here? One more thing. You said something happened in the elections. Yeah, tell me more about that.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Oh, really?
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Huh, that is suspicious.
This forewoman, her name?
What was her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence. Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the Union's files.
Eerie, it happens. Some kind of extortion, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a Union matter.
I see.
The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
All right, I understand.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Well, that's going to be a problem.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
I also don't have a name at the moment, because apparently he still hasn't come up with one.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Well...
It was stolen by some artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists.
An artist? Why should I blame it on an artist? Yes, why an artist specifically?
Everyone knows you can't trust artists. They're nearly as bad as clowns.
Drama is kind of strange as well. Some artist type stole my badge. It was a mistake to trust them. Some damn clown stole it from me. It's a long story. Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? I lost my badge. My lost badge is related to it. Well, I would maybe distrust clowns more than artists.
You mean someone stole your badge?
Her brow is slightly arched. I'd rather not get into it, but yes, a bunch of clowns and some Arlecchinos stole my badge.
Some Arlecchinos, you say? I'm afraid what I need to tell you is anything but fun. I really need to discuss it, however, with the RCM, and I need your badge for that.
Alright, so I need to find my badge first if I want to talk to her about this in greater detail. Okay.
Unbelievable, sire. Even the Arlecchinos didn't work.
Yeah, you would think that someone else would distrust clowns, right? Also, I mean, it's not clear whether he was actually talking about literal clowns or if it was just like an insult. Remember what my partner told you about? Yeah, right, I can still pick this option.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all my memory of my life and the world. Not quite. I still have encyclopedia. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing. Yeah, maybe I have eaten it.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
Well, it's okay. I kind of get used to it.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
Well, thank you.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Right.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Okay, so I have to find my badge if I want to get anything out of her.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Okay, I have a skill check here. +1 sympathy for your amnesia. What kind of arrangement would it be? Yeah, let's ask this question first.
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That
Okay.
you convince yourself into colluding with her.
Well, that increased my chances for this skill check, so let's give it a try.
Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials, right?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
Okay, I'm listening.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to know what she has in mind. I can still decide not to do it and just try to find my badge, I assume. But, let's hear about it.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
Okay.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
So this is about investigating a potential drug trade. I mean, that's something the police should maybe do anyway, so I don't see that big of a problem with that.
Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
I tend to agree.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Okay, excuse us for a moment. So you wanna talk?
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet. Yeah, I still don't have the money, I'm afraid.
You should take care of that, then.
Yeah, but I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out.
Anyway, is this what he wanted to talk to me about? No, he still wants to talk.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
So how did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Oh, so we're henchmen now, really? I thought it was going so well. I thought so too, and I mean, if it's drug-related, then I think we have a good reason to investigate it. We wouldn't really be her henchmen.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
So you think she may have planned this? Maybe?
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition, maybe. Her proposal was likely part of her design. This all is. What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking? Yeah, I mean, that doesn't seem like such a bad thing. We could just, you know, find my badge. Yeah, but I don't even know where to start looking for it. Yeah, should we not investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it.
Right.
What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
Okay, I mean, that seems like a fair deal. I guess her proposal was likely part of her design.
Yes. Knowing this does not really change our position, however.
Maybe she even knew about my condition.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
Of course, I would also be open to just find my badge, which I probably should do anyway.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
Yeah, but I mean, we can probably narrow it down to like this place. Then again, I guess it's possible that I never really brought my badge here and I lost it like a long time ago. So you're right about that.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
Yeah, I think at the moment doing that investigation is probably the better idea.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
I already tried this. They weren't very cooperative. So I guess let's go back to her. I mean, it's almost 10:30 now. But I would like to continue my conversation with her before I return to the hotel. So I hope Kim won't mind staying a while longer in this cold weather. But let me have a quick look at some of my updates here. The 15th Indo tribe. No temporary research bonus. Wild Pines, Feld, Kupris, Tricentennial, Villiers, LaSalle, names of River Sholian Indo tribes spring into your head. Set loose at the mention of Wild Pines. Royal monopolies, octopuses and swordfish, most of them gone now. YBP, Expander, Saint Baptiste, Brightest Star, LUM, Resplendent, East, Insulindic, Welter, and Alcacet, but isn't one missing? Wait, no, there were only 14. And why do you feel like there was a 15th Indo tribe? I mean, this is a very puzzling one. I'm not sure what this would give me, but I'm still kinda intrigued. I'm not sure why this one updated again, because as far as I can tell, there's nothing new here. Try negotiating with cafeteria manager. Okay, well, I guess I will have to do this sooner or later. And I'm not seeing anything new here. Okay, well, I think I'm actually going to end the episode here, but I will try to talk to her again and finish like the options that we had there. And maybe once we're done with that conversation, we will finally return to the hotel, because you know it's getting kind of late and it's looking really cold. So I think Kim just wants to call it a day. But I will call it a day now. So as always, thank you for watching, and see you again next time.